So this is a car I'm somewhat familiar with. I remember it being for sale before I started doing the deep dives in the middle of 2025. So this is VIN 1979. It is a 2016 223, which is caviar, so black with a silver flake in it, with LA30 red interior, and it's for sale at Motor Cars of Chicago in Joliet, Illinois, not to be confused with Chicago Motor Cars. Two different companies, and when you start looking at reviews of this company, it seems that there's a lot of mix-ups with that. Like Chicago Motor Cars has a lot of negative reviews, and it looks like they're talking about this dealer. So I encourage you, before you even look at this car, look at this dealer closely and the reviews, because they're not really that great. And so there's a lot of people that have had issues with cars purchased here. However, this particular car looks like it's a pretty decent car, and I'll go into that in detail, but buyer beware, investigate this selling dealer before you proceed any further. And it's Motor Cars of Chicago in Joliet, Illinois, not Chicago Motor Cars in the suburbs of Chicago. This car is listed for sale, $55,000 with 66,000 miles, and it's been a California car its whole life. I waited a while to post this because I was waiting on photos, and somebody had inquired about it and received a few of them, but the reason for the delay is this car is being shipped from California to Illinois, and then it has to be prepped and detailed and everything else. So that's the holdup on why the photos are not posted yet. Production statistics: 448 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49. Of those, 202 had LA30 red interior, which is 9.58% of all of the US 49 production. So it's like a 3 out of 10 for rarities. You're gonna see quite a few of them. For 2016, 284 out of the 1,418 cars were caviar. Of those, 127 had LA30 red interior. So it's like the fourth most common color. You have white with red, white with black, black with black, and then black with red. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a 2-owner, no accident California car. Pretty much as good as they come, other than it being 1 owner. Epic VIN shows this as a 1-owner, no accident car, which is not correct. And AutoCheck also shows this as a 2-owner, no accident California car. So this is a clean title, 2-owner, no accident California car. Always great to buy a car like that, and especially as time goes on here, these get harder and harder to find. And this is a no accident car. There's around 1,000 of them left for the US 49 cars that are accident free, and this is one of those. Previous sales. This car first went on sale in August of 2016, $88,000 in California, and it sold in October of 2016, so about 2 months for sale. And then it popped up, and this is what I remember, February of 2025. It may have gone to Carvana, because Carvana, when they take it in their inventory, it shows a Helena, Montana LLC as a holding company for Carvana, and that's where this was. But they must have sent it back to auction, and then this company called Elite Motor Cars in Concord, California, put it up for sale, $54,000 with 56,000 miles. So $1,000 less than they're asking now, but with 10,000 fewer miles. So the price has gone up on this car, even though the mileage has gone up. And it sold in under 60 days, again to a buyer in California. And based on the service history, it looks like the buyer was a tech at Freeman Lexus. So I'll get into that in the service history and you'll see, but it sounds to me like a Lexus mechanic owned this car since February or March of 2025. And now here it is, April of 2026, $1,000 more, 10,000 more miles, so $55,000 with 66,000 miles. Pretty typical of the mileage that you see for a 2016 GSF. There's either the ones that are driven not every day, or there's the ones that are daily driven and have a whole bunch of miles. So this is the former, not the latter. This car, you do see a lot of them pop up with this kind of mileage, and I would call it average for what you see in a 2016 GSF. So now to the photos. Again, I waited a couple days to see if photos were gonna pop up, and they didn't. However, someone that inquired on this car sent me these photos, and I have 4 photos, and so I'm gonna share them with you here. The photos I have from when it was for sale in February of 2025, the car is phenomenal. Like all the touch points, the paint, the wheels, everything looked really good. It looked to me in the 2025 photos like it needed front brakes, and when we get into the service history, you'll see that was addressed. So it looks like it didn't need much back then, and it probably still doesn't need much now, as long as it wasn't completely abused in the last year of ownership. A Lexus technician owned it. I highly doubt it was abused, but when they do post photos, just look at them closely. I remember several people asking me about this car when it was for sale back in early of 2025. It was definitely a great one then, and it's probably still a great one now. It's the detracting factor for me on this car now is the dealer that is selling it. And as I said earlier, investigate before you pursue further with this dealer. I don't want to have anybody that has problems or anything like that. So definitely do your due diligence with this dealership. So as far as the price goes, where it was priced a year ago, $55,000, it was probably a little high at the time, but it was a very clean example, probably worth overpaying even slightly for it because there are so few of those left. And so now with 10,000 more miles, the price has gone up $1,000, but the market has also gone up. I've talked about this in other videos. The last 30 to 60 days, the prices have been on the rise on this car, and this is pretty apparent. I think where it's priced is pretty fair, but if you're just going off of my numbers, probably $52,000, $53,000 would be kind of the market. But with the market going up, 55 is not too far out of the ballpark. I think because it's fairly well sorted that it's probably worth their asking price, as long as you're not going to get a bunch of hassle from the dealer and as long as the car has not been severely abused over the last year. But a year ago, it looked awesome. It looks pretty much the same now from the low quality photos that were provided, but just wait a little longer or inquire further with this dealership to get better photos, or better yet, go to Chicago and go check it out in person. That's probably the best thing to do because you can still do a pre-purchase inspection on it, everything like that too. So speaking of the service history, this car was very well dealer serviced. As I said, a tech owned it for the last year and he did his own work, but he reported it on the Lexus service history. So it said that he was working off the clock on his personal vehicle. So and then it says what he did in most instances, like replace the brakes, do an oil change, things like that. Early in its life, there's just several oil changes. April of 2018, the JLB recall is done. That's the high pressure fuel pumps. April of 2019, 20,000 miles, front brakes. Pretty typical. I talked about this before. 20 to 30,000 miles on the front brakes, 40 to 50,000 on the rear. That's very typical of what you find. So replacing the brakes at 20,000 miles, not unexpected. October of 2019, 24,000 miles. They did the 30,000 mile service, which is brake fluid, oil change, inspection, things like that, along with the KLG customer service program. So that's the GPS reporting the wrong location. So if you're on the main road, it shows you off on the side road or something like that. It's resolved here. January of 2023, 44,000 miles. The 60,000 mile service was done early, and rear brakes. You just heard me talk about 40 to 50,000 for rear brakes, 44,000 miles on the rear brakes. So it sounds to me like it's driven pretty normally, wasn't tracked, wasn't driven hard. It's pretty typical lifespan of what you would see on these cars for these brakes. May of 2025, 57,000 miles, an oil change, and they note that the tech is working on his own personal vehicle off the clock. And that continues further until the very last service. August of 2025, and an oil change. It doesn't say if the spark plugs were done. I would assume this being a Lexus tech, it's probably done, but that would be something to pursue a little bit further. Make sure the spark plugs were changed on this car. December of 2025, 60,500 miles, the 60,000 mile basic service. So the basic service does not include spark plugs, and maybe that's because they were done the previous service 500 miles ago. It's not super clear what went on there. But and an alignment was done there too, but that would be something to try to look into. If they can't prove that the spark plugs have been done, assume they haven't and plan on doing them. December of 2025, January 2026, 62 and 65,000 miles, front pads and rotors. So remember the originals were done at 20,000. So now it has 60,000. So that's 40,000 miles on the front pads. Pretty good lifespan. Tells me it was probably driven fairly easily and probably a lot of highway miles. And maybe an oil change was done there too. It's again, when the tech was working on it, there's not a whole lot of notes as to what was done. It does note that the brakes were done, which helps, but probably an oil change at a minimum. So what is not done? The ZLZ, that is a sticky dash. The in-service date on this car is October 29th of 2016. So you have until October 29th of 2026. So you have about 6 months left on the coverage for that. This car's been a California car its whole life. it's kind of hit or miss. Depends on where in California and how often it was parked outside exposed to the UV rays, based on is the dash going to be sticky or not. But if it's the slightest bit sticky, Lexus will cover it free of charge. You have 6 months left on that coverage. Low pressure fuel pump. I don't see it being reprogrammed on this car. So that is the humming or buzzing you hear in the back seat. So if you're going to go look at this car, shut everything off other than the engine and listen. If you hear a humming or like a thumping noise in the back seat, that is a low pressure fuel pump. However, there is also a recall now for the low pressure fuel pump, completely separate issue, but the parts are not available yet. It just came out April of 2026, April 8th of 2026, and here it is April 16th of 2026, that this car will get a new low pressure fuel pump. And I would assume at that time, it would probably get programmed or anything else during that replacement. HVAC servo sweep, that has not been done on this car. So if you're gonna go test this car out, make sure it's fully warmed up. There's two little triangles in the middle of the dash for the heat, the oil temperature and the water temperature. Make sure it's fully warmed up. Start messing with HVAC controls. One side max hot, one side max cold, cycle through everything. Flip sides, make sure they all respond. If they don't, there is a reprogramming available for this car. If you do the reprogramming and it still has problems, then you're gonna have to replace some of the servo motors, and the dash has to come out for some of those, and that can get pretty expensive. Front lower control arm bushings, don't see where those have been done. Just look at the insides of the front tires and make sure you don't see any excessive wear. If you do, probably gonna be doing front lower control arm bushings. The carbon fiber trim is not delaminating from what I can tell in 2025. The couple photos that are provided now, it still doesn't look like it, but just note that it's probably original. And if you're gonna take this car to a cold climate, it's now in Chicago, but it is summertime right now, or spring and summer. I don't expect it to do it right now, but it could in the future if it's gonna live up north somewhere in the cold. The valley plate has not been done on this car. Heat cycles and time. Fully expect to have to do that pretty soon. This car being owned by a Lexus tech, I would assume that they know better than, they know better to inspect it and kind of keep track of things like that. Not to say that it won't be, but it's probably not leaking right now, just being owned by a Lexus tech. But just put money aside for that, because that will be something you have to do on this car in the future, if not immediately. Make sure the spark plugs were done at that 60,000 mile service, and transmission service, TVD service. That's about it. And I would check the tires too. I don't see any recent tire replacement, but that would be basically it. I think that the car is pretty well sorted. It may need a few things. It may not need it, but spark plugs, transmission service, TVD service, those would be the big things I would do on this. Inspect the valley plate. Definitely get a pre-purchase inspection. And the big concern, I've talked about it already, the big concern I would have with this car is not the car itself, but the selling dealer. And so thoroughly investigate that and satisfy yourself that you're happy with the deal before you proceed with it. Do your due diligence on this dealer. The car itself looks like a great buy. The price is fair. It does need a few things, but not a deal breaker. And I think if you could get it slightly cheaper, more power to you. But it is a fantastic example. It was a year ago, and I can only assume it is now. So definitely worth checking out. But again, check out the dealer first. 1979 is this VIN. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.